Hello everyone, my name is Devin and thank you for tuning to my channel, Devin's Mastermind. So what I'm going to get into today, I'm going to get into the NFL. As y'all know, the NFL just started. I'm going to get into the Falcons and the Eagles. As y'all know, the Eagles beat the Falcons 32-6. It was a butt whooping, so obviously the Falcons weren't rising up, they were rising down, obviously, if y'all didn't know that. I'm going to also get into the Titans and the Cardinals. Now, what I saw from the Cardinals, I saw they won 38-13. And I know Chandler Jones, their best defensive player, had like 5 sacks. And I was not expecting that. Kyler Murray had him a great day with 294 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. 2 of them, I think, the Christian Kirk, and 2 of them, the DeAndre Hopkins. And they obviously shut Derrick Henry down. So I was not expecting that kind of football game. I wasn't expecting it at all. And then I'm going to get into the Saints and the Packers are playing right now. From what I saw earlier, I heard that the latest I heard that the Saints were up 17-3 against the Packers. So it looks like the Saints are going to pull it out and all that.
24-3, excuse us.
Oh, it's 24-3.
Yeah, 3 minutes left.
3 minutes left in the third quarter, yeah. And then I also want to get into the Bengals and the Vikings. The Bengals finally got a great win against the Vikings. They beat them 27-24 in overtime. Joe Burrow got his win. Him and Jamar Chase, they were former teammates at LSU 2 years ago, so they connected with each other for a huge 51-yard touchdown. The 49ers and the Lions, when I saw the game, it was 41-17, 49ers, but then when I looked at it, the next thing I know, the Lions scored 16 points to make it 41-33. But as y'all know, the 49ers came out and still won that game. And then the Chiefs it's shocking, the Browns are beating the Chiefs now. And then, of course, y'all know the Bears and the Rams play tonight, and then the Ravens and the Raiders play tomorrow night. So it's a lot of great games. And then for week 3, for college football, I know Auburn and Penn State, College Game Day is going to be heading to Penn State for the Auburn-Penn State game. And I'm kind of I'm going for Auburn because they're in the SEC and all that stuff. So, yeah.
And Devin, when is your, y'all are off a bye week this coming week? You're back on your schedule. So when is y'all's game?
Thursday, we play Clark Central Gladiators.
You ready for that?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to get me some spy sacks, too, like Chandler Jones did against that Titans offense. I can't wait to show them who I am. And, yeah, that's about it. And before I go, I wanted to tell y'all I have a big project coming on Thanksgiving weekend. It's going to be my biggest project in the history. Yeah, it's going to be about sports, but it's also going to be about other stuff. So I just want to make sure to tell y'all that. So stay tuned and all that stuff, and I will tell you about my story. All right.
Well, before you go, let me ask you a few more questions because we got y'all on here. We want to give you a little bit more of our time. The Packers are playing now. Is Aaron Rodgers playing?
Yeah, he's playing because he had signed that contract. But a lot of folks expecting it to be his last year with the Packers and he might go somewhere else. But he is not looking like an MVP right now because last year he threw 48 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Of course, took the Packers to the NFC Championship. As y'all know, he hasn't won a Super Bowl since 2010, and they said ever since then the Packers have lost 4 straight NFC Championships. One was against the Buccaneers last year. As y'all know, the Bucs won 31-26. The year before they had played the 49ers, got whooped 37-20. Then the year before that, I think they played of course they played the Falcons. Of course, we went to Super Bowl, lost 44-21. And then I think they also played the Seattle Seahawks in 2014 because that was the comeback in Seattle, and they had won 28-22 in overtime. The Seattle Seahawks over the Green Bay Packers, and that was like Aaron Rodgers' second MVP because Aaron Rodgers has been in the league for 17 years. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So let's discuss. We know the Falcons lost. I know that's not really per se your favorite team. That's more your mom's team. Period. Regardless. But how did they play? Where do they need to make improvements?
Well, I'm just gonna tell y'all this. I'm gonna tell y'all this straight up. The Falcons need to get a new quarterback because Matt Ryan, I'm sorry, he got to go. He needs to go. He needs to be a coach because I don't think we're not gonna do nothing with him. It's gonna take the Falcons a long time to build up back to that Super Bowl team that they were in 2016. I I don't see it. I don't see the Falcons probably going to the Super Bowl until the next 18 years, like they did with that 18-year gap. So that means I don't see them going until 2034 or 2035.
Well, besides Matt Ryan, I mean, he can only do so much,
I mean,
but
yeah.
nonetheless, where do you see they have some holes, gaps where they need to fill in and do better?
Honestly, I want to tell y'all they have gaps everywhere. It's everywhere because if they would, they wouldn't have lost 32-6. But you know, Julio Jones, of course, he left, went to the Titans.
And how did the Titans do today?
Like I said, the Titans got whooped by the Cardinals, 38-13. Derrick Henry didn't even have a touchdown.
Cardinals.
The Cardinals whooped them. Kyler Murray passed for 4 touchdowns, and they whooped. They got whooped. The Titans got mollywopped. I was expecting the Titans to win, but I wasn't expecting the Cardinals to beat them how they did in that fashion. They butt whooped them.
And I know you were so excited. Was it yesterday was it yesterday or Friday or Thursday when you saw Drew Brees reporting from NBC?
Yes, because as y'all know, he was the quarterback for the Chargers and the Saints. He started off before he went to this high school, from Westlake High School, I think in Texas. They were really good. He was looking like an MVP in his high school careers, and he played for Purdue, where he decorated as one of the greatest quarterbacks in Big Ten history. Of course, he went to the Chargers. That didn't work out for like 5-6 years. Then he went to the Saints in 2006 after Katrina, started and had beat the Browns. And then they had that famous, I think, game when they played the Falcons, and we had beat them, and the Saints had beat them 23-3 over. And it was also a punt that had happened, a block punt return for a touchdown. They still called that one of the most iconic, greatest moments in the history of sports. And as y'all know, he won a Super Bowl in 2010. In 2009, he beat the Colts 31-17 in the Super Bowl and Peyton Manning. So,
and you can tell that's one of Devin's favorite quarterbacks. He loves Drew Brees.
yes.
At the time, he didn't know how he was feeling about him, but he forgave him and moved on, and he's back on the Drew Brees train. He loved himself some Drew Brees as far as one of his favorite quarterbacks. Yeah. There are plenty of other people we like, but he's a very big Drew Brees fan. Anything else you kind of wanted to discuss? I'm trying to think if we had something else we needed to report on or speak of or talk about. How do you see I know it's just one game, but how do you think the Falcons, how do you think the Titans gonna do? How do you think the Bucks gonna do? How do you think the Cowboys gonna do? And any of the other teams, not all of those are your teams, but any of the teams you like, who you looking for in the NFL this season?
Well, I'm looking for those Cleveland Browns, as we know, one of the suckiest teams in football, probably ever since Jim Brown was a running back. But as y'all know, the Cleveland Browns are beating the Chiefs right now. I'm expecting them to be a Super Bowl contender because they got a great defense. They got Jadeveon Clowney, Myles Garrett is still their best pass rusher. Baker Mayfield, he's a quality quarterback, Pro Bowl quarterback to have. Nick Chubb is one of the running backs.
That's
the Georgia Bulldog, the one that took us to the national championship, him and Sonny Michel. And so I'm expecting them to do great things.
Who's your other team? Who would be second?
Well, I like the Titans, but from what I can tell, that don't look like no Super Bowl team for what I just saw. I understand it's one game, but y'all can't. That was a game that y'all needed to win.
Okay, who would be your third contender and fourth?
The third contender, the Buccaneers, of course, are the contender. Period.
Right, but you don't like them.
Yeah, I don't like.
So who would be your third and fourth that you like? That you hopefully see are going there.
I would hope the Saints, but that's not really gonna happen. I mean, Jameis Winston, from what I've seen the Saints, they looking pretty good.
Yeah.
They're looking like they can be a team to contend in the playoffs, but I expect them, to maybe one playoff win, maybe two. Then I expect the Buccaneers taking the whole division and win the NFC South. Fortunately, it's the Buccaneers division now, so that's what I expect.
How many times have we played the Buccaneers?
Twice.
Is there any other team we played twice?
Panthers and y'all play the Panthers, the Saints.
Oh, God.
And Panthers, Saints, and the Buccaneers twice.
And who did you say when you was looking on the list to play that we might beat? It was only one or two teams. You said the Falcons might beat this season
honestly, if I was to look at the Falcons, they can beat the Jaguars and the Lions. And whoever else I think they got on their schedule. They can probably beat one more team. But unfortunately, what the Falcons need to do, I would hate to say this to y'all's Falcons people, but Falcons need to go 0-17. They just need to go 0-17, being the first being the first overall
Don't
pick, and
say
they need to
all
get a
that.
quarterback. I'm sorry, because
Oh,
I
you
don't,
make me
because
mad.
they need that. They need that. They really need that.
Yeah, Dev's
I
not.
don't think
He is
foreign.
not for the home team.
Yeah.
As you can see, even really when they winning, he don't jump back on the bandwagon like that. But it is what it is. It's my home team. I think we're gonna take a few seasons where we just until Matt Ryan goes and get a few more players or whatever they need to build up. We're gonna need a quarterback. I think, another wide receiver. We got the tight end. And then maybe somebody else, unless we already had that. But I would definitely go and build up that defense a little bit more.
As y'all know, Calvin Ridley's taking the spot from Julio, from what Julio was with when he was with the Falcons. So, fortunately, Calvin Ridley's our first best wide receiver, Kyle Pitts. Then we got Cordell Patterson, one of the greatest return mans, but not great like Devin Hester was. But yeah.
Yeah, Cordell Patterson, he did a good job from the little bit that I saw. So hopefully it's just more to come. Hopefully this is just that first game. Hopefully they'll do a little bit better than what we expect. But other than that, stay tuned. This is Devin's Mastermind. Like you stated before, we have a project more so that is coming out. It's really dear to his heart. And it will be out. Hopefully we're shooting for the week of Thanksgiving. It hits on a little bit of sports, but I want you all to just stay tuned and see. It's something big that we're working on, and it's going to take its time. We don't want to rush it, but hopefully you all will be able, to witness what we put out there. And like I said, it's going to hit on, obviously, football, but I can't wait for everyone to see it. So just stay tuned, and we'll get it out when we can. And that's it. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah, good night. Thank y'all.